you'd like to subscribe to our channel, you're more than welcome. If you'd like to hit that bell, it will give you notifications of every new post we make. And if you would like to add some comments down below, it will help me to think of anything that you enjoy and would like me to do for you. So today we're going to make some tiny little gingerbread men for our dolls. I'm having a bad day again today. It's my illness. I've got an illness which I'd rather not talk about, which sometimes leave me in bed for 4 or 5 days on a trot, and I just have to get on with it. So it's a bed day today. So I thought whilst I was just sat here in bed, I would just do some polymer clay, because that's quite an easy thing you can just do whilst you lay down. So I've got myself some brown I've mixed up, a sort of browny creamy colour, a little bit of red, a little bit of green, and a little bit of black. And I also will be working with my cutting tool, and I'm going to be working today on a tile. Okay, so I'll just put these colours out of the way a minute. I've just got a very small ball of clay. I'm just going to roll it out. I thought it'd be nice for our dolls. You could make these and you could put into it, if you wanted to, a pin, or at the top of a paper clip to the top of the head, and you could hang it from your doll's Christmas tree if you wanted to. So this is going to be our little head. So I'm just going to press it down flat. I made a ball and I'm just going to press it around so it's laying quite flat. Okay, like that. So that's your head. So it's quite simple. And then I'm going to do exactly the same again. I'm going to get another piece just slightly bigger than the piece we had there. And I'm just going to make sure it's all nice and conditioned. Now I have conditioned this clay before I started. And you want to do that to make sure that your clay is not crumbly at all or anything like that. So in my hands this time, I'll try and do this so I'm not wobbling the camera so much. Let's see if I can do this so the camera's not wobbling too much. So in my hands, I'm just rolling it out like that. There. Okay, so I've got it into a ball shape. Okay, it's quite easy. And then I'll put you down again so you can just go onto the tile and see what's going on here. I'm going to just push that. And what I want to do is make it more of a pear shape. So you got it like that more. Can you see? Sort of like that. And then we're just going to push it flat. In that sort of shape up there for the top of his head. Alright, now if you find that when you've done it it's too big, you can always take a bit off, or you can always just remold it again into the size you want. But you want the top of it and the bottom of it just to come up about the same sort of size, so it's sort of coming up about the same, okay, thickness, sorry, about the same thickness. So when you slip it up, that should be about the same sort of thickness as you go down all the way along. And then we're going to take the thing, I'm just going to turn it this way a minute. I'm going to take the blade, sorry, it's not a thing, it's a blade. I'm going to cut it up about to there, because this is going to be its legs. And we're just going to cut it straight down through like that. And then I'm going to just take it over, and I'm just going to push my fingers up like that. Push it up like that. So you get sort of a leg impression. You can squeeze it in on each side, and then if you slide it off your back, I haven't put the head on yet, so let's just do that. You can just get your finger in there and give it a little squeeze in there and get it nice and rounded and more into a sort of leggy type shape. Do the same on that one, because you don't want that looking like a blunt line really. Yeah, so just going to go in there and just curl that off, and you want them to look roughly the same sort of size, your legs. If you find that you've got one leg bigger than the other, which sometimes happens, what you can do is just take a tiny piece of the clay off like that, and then you can come around and just mould it again into the shape that you want it to be in. Alright, so it's coming now. I think that's almost there. That's better. Right, okay, let's see. That's better. I still think that leg might be on that side. Is that leg still look a little bit too wide? Move the head out of the way a minute. I'll cut that How's that? That's a bit better. Let's have a look. Just play around with it until you get it into the shape that you want. There we go, that's coming nicely now. Happy with that, I think. I think that looks nice. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, I'll just move the camera that way a bit because I think it's in my shadow a little bit. There we go, that's better. So get that in there like that, and then we're going to put our head on, and you can either just push your head on, or you can put a piece of polymer, the liquid, polymer clay liquid. It's either Fimo or Sculpey or something like that onto it, and then get that nice and attached on. Just move it down a bit if you want to. Okay, so there you go, that's attached. Okay, and then I'm going to take 2 more very small pieces of clay for the arms. So I'm going to grab those bits which I've already done. So just make sure that that's nice and soft again in your fingers. Just keep rolling it between your fingers like that until you get it nice and soft. And we're going to break that piece in half. So I've got a piece about that big. Break that in half. And I'm going to roll it into a ball. The reason to doing this, I want to make sure that this ball is roughly the same size as this ball. I'm trying to keep the camera as still as I possibly can. Yeah, that's not bad. I don't think that's bad on those 2 sizes. Okay, and then what you're going to do then is just going to roll one end of it like we did with the body, so that you get more of a pear shape or teardrop shape, and that is going to be your little arm, and that will go on there like that. And just bring your finger in and gently push that in. There you go. That's good. So that's your little arm there, and you can do exactly the same on the other side. So you could make these into earrings or a little necklace for yourself if you wanted to, or for the dolls as well. That would make a really cute little, you could make it smaller again and make a really cute little necklace. I thought tree decorations, or to actually have on the table to be for tiny gingerbread men. So that's looking quite nice. His arms are coming out cute. That's adorable. Yeah, okay, so he's got a nice little head, and just try and make sure that those arms are roughly the same size. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do, so I'm going to take a bit of this creamy white here and rub it together in my fingers. Okay, now you might, if you find that you've used your red before you've touched a creamy white, you don't want to be touching it. So what we're going to do is you want to make sure you've got clean hands. So you can either give your, if you keep a flannel beside you, that might work, a wet flannel, like a damp flannel, that helps just to keep the get the bits off it. If you've noticed that it started to get onto the lighter clay, then what you'll find is that you can end up with red marks, or I don't know if you can see that there's a tiny bit of red going on there, just there. Can you see that? So you just need to just be careful and just keep your hands as clean as you possibly can. So what I'm aiming to do is get a really nice long sausage here. So I'm just rolling it and rolling it, because I want to go this really thin to be the pieces which I'm going to put onto my feet. So this will be like the sugar icing at the end of my feet and the end of my arms. So I'm just going to bring it along and roll it till it gets nice and long and thin. There we go, keep going. Should be able to get a nice long thin sausage. Okay, alright, a bit more just on the end there, it's not quite. So once you've got it like that, and if you're happy with that sort of thing, if you find that you've got a lumpy bit here like I have on the end, just take your blade and cut that piece off. Okay, and what we're going to do is very carefully, so we're going to pop it onto this foot. Alright, so we're going to put it on. Now you could use a little tool, you could just use a cocktail stick, or you could use a pin or something like that to help you if you feel that you're going to be struggling with this. I'm just going to curl it around and just bring it up a little bit and then push it down as you're going along. There you go. So I've got one curl there, and another curl coming up here, and another curl coming here. And then if you had some white, you could use white for this. You might find that the white looked nicer. I didn't actually have any white left. I've used it all. I'd be going into town in the weekends, so hopefully if I feel any better, because I won't be getting up for tomorrow because my illness is going to keep me in bed again, but hopefully one day in the week I might be able to get some more. I don't know why, it seems to be really difficult to get hold of it at the moment. So I'm just going to sort of bend it around like that. I couldn't get any white and I'd used everything up, so I'm just going to come here. Can you see I've made a bit of a lump in there? So what I'm going to do is just bring that down and cut that away with my end blade. That's better. Remove all that. No, as I say, you could use your toothpick or whatever you wanted there to get that off. There we go. Just neaten that up there, and then bring this one up. It's quite fiddly, this bit is, and around and down. And when you get it on that side, just take your blade again and cut it off. I could have done, I think, with another little. Yeah, that's better. Let's just pop that in there. I might have to grab some more tools in a sec. Put that on there. Pull it around. It's in there. Let's see if I can get a better angle on it. Pull that one around, up there, and then down like that. Is that better? No, I'm gonna just gonna grab something to help me with that a minute. I'll just try that again. What happened was I just need a little bit of help. I'm just going to remove all these bits here out of the way and neaten that up. I've just got my silicone tool. It's just down here on the box beside me on the floor. You really want this to sort of almost like marry up to the other side. Don't think you can see that, can you? So let's pop that in there. Just going to get my silicone tool and I'm going to push it in there, but as I say, you don't need to have a silicone tool. You could just use like a cocktail stick or something like that, and then bring it up around, and you want to come up about, bring it down a bit and then bring it up. That's it, that's better. That's better. I just want it to flow a little bit more so it's not looking like that. It's better. And then bring that piece around and down. Just trying to get that little bit of symmetry on it, really, if you can. And take your silicone thing and just push that up, and gently push it along all the way along, so it's sticking. Okay, and then we're going to cut this piece off here. Alright. I'm just going to rework it again so that when I put it on the arms, I want it to be nice and a bit softer than it is. This was the worst piece I had. It wasn't very well. It was a really old one, so it was really hard when I was trying to manipulate it to get it conditioned. So I've really had to work with it. So I'm just going to get it rolled out again. Okay, it's a nice long roll of it. You can just do that in between your fingers, but for some reason it's not rolling on my tile. See if it does any better on my piece of wood. Maybe it will. This piece of wood is reasonably clean. Yeah, it's doing better on the wood now. It's rolling out much better. So that piece of wood was reasonably clean just now before I put it. It's got a few dots of red on it, but I think that'll be okay to get on the arms. Alright. As I say, white would have been nice, but you have to go with what you can get at the moment. Apparently they've been having a real job getting it because of COVID. I don't know whether the factory's not making it at the moment or something, I don't know. It seemed really strange, but the shelves were empty. There was about 5 or 6 different colours where there's, you know, usually about 100. So that's that one. I'm just going to put him in there. That's cute. Tuck that one right in there. Around the side. There we go. And then just very gently I'm going to come over and just push it on so that it's definitely sticking. That's it. And then I'm just going to do the same on the other one. On the other arm. Okay. So we're going to come in here. Pop it on. Push it down in there. Just like that. Go up like that. Back and back and around. In there. Around there. I want it to come up a little bit higher at this end, I think. But that's what I've done on the other side. So I'll push it around like that and I'll move that piece down. It's quite difficult to get that sort of balanced in with how you want it to be. You go down like that, and then you come up like that, and then that one goes in there like that. Alright, so I'm just going to get this piece, because this piece on that one is, on the other side is up. That's better. There, and then we'll push this one down a bit more. That's better. Let's put that in there. Right, and I'm just going to take off that piece there on the edge, so it lays nice and flat. Okay. There we go. So that's that. So there you go. You've got your two nice pieces of icing there, and your two nice pieces of icing down the bottom. So the next thing we're going to do is to give him some little bits of icing on top of his head. So I'm going to get some little balls, and I'm going to make 3 little balls, and I roughly want them just about the same size. Okay, so that's about, is that going to be the same size as that? A bit too big. So you want 3 little balls about the same size. 1, 2. That's a bit smaller, isn't it? It needs to do smaller. So I want that one, middle one. A little tiny bit more in the middle one. There we go. Right, okay, and what you want to do is you're going to make them into that shape again, like the teardrop shape. That's it. I'm going to put that one in the middle. And we're just going to press him down. Just in like that. Okay, so you've got a nice teardrop shape there. Take your next one, do the teardrop again. And place that onto the side. Now you don't want it to come, because you want it to be more like a hair type thing, so you want it to come down like that. And then the last one. Okay. Not so good, is it? I'm mucking that one up a bit, I think. Okay, and then we're going to bring that one in. And put that one in there as well. So I've got it over this. I want it to go sort of more over the side. That's it. So there's this lovely little hair. It could be a girl or a boy if you wanted. You could put velvet ribbon on her in her hair if you wanted to. So that's the hair. Okay, and then we've got some black, and we really need 2 teeny weeny little black ones. Okay, so I'm going to make 2 tiny balls. 1 and another one, and you want them roughly the same size. So yeah, that's not bad. I'll put 1 this side, 1. There we go. In it goes. Actually, let's just give myself. I'm just going to make myself a little hole to put it in. Actually, okay. There we go. Pop your eye in it. Now, if you want to, that's too big. If you want to, what you can do is you can get some liquid polymer clay and put it into here as you're doing your eyes, and that will hold it in place. But usually they stay, and I've not had a problem with the eyes falling out before. So I'm going to put the other one over this side, like that. Grab my eye and pop it in there. Now check that that's the same sort of size. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so I've got my 2 eyes. I'm going to get a tiny piece of this cream, and it's going to be a really, really, really tiny weeny piece. About a quarter of the size of what you've just done for your eyes. You want of your cream, if not even smaller. So look, I've got a little tiny bit like that. I'm going to cut that piece in half, because this is going to just go in to be the highlights on its eyes, where maybe like the light was shining onto the eye and it's just getting a little highlight off it. Okay, take that and make that into a ball and just pop that onto your eye. Okay, that might even be too big. Let's have a look. Oh, that's not bad. Let's have a look, see if I can make that a bit better. No, I'll take that one and make that a bit smaller actually. I think that's still too big. Just get a piece of red off there. It's just going to have to cut that one in half. You want the most tiniest piece for it. You don't want it to be too big. That's it, that's better. Right, I'm try and make that really, really, really tiny. There we go. I made that really tiny. Be good on my brush. See? Now let's try and pop it on there. Roll it off my finger. There you go. Got it. Pop it on there. That's better. Is it? No, I don't like it. Even smaller than that one, then we need to go and see if I can cut that one in half again. And it's just a thing of trial and error with the eyes, I think, and you just need to get it roughly to the size you want it. So I'm going to try that one now. It's the teeniest bit you can get. That's better. You just want it to highlight it, just this really, like just a tiny bit to highlight it. There you go. So the light would probably be catching the eyes in the same sort of direction. And there you go, so this is the little eyes. They look cute. And then we've got the most teeniest, weeniest little bit of red, which we're going to use for the mouth. So you need just the smallest of pieces. Okay, and we're going to roll that just like we did with the other one and make a long, thin sausage, and it's going to be really, really long and thin. So it's going to be like a hair, sort of, almost. Just get it as nice and long as you can get it. Takes a minute or two just to get that into position. For some reason today it's not working on my tile. So I'm just going to keep going with that until I get it really long and thin. That's not bad. I'm just going to cut off the two ends. So it's there, like that. Sorry, I used the wrong side. There. Cut and a piece of this end here. There we go. I think I've still got a bit too much. Oops, sorry. There. That's more like it. Pick it up. Okay. And bring it over. Okay, we're just going to give it into the shape I want it now. Quite tricky. I'm just going to put my finger on it second, and then I'll bring it once I've sort of stuck that middle piece on a little bit. Just curl up that end, curl up this end here. There we go, that's better. Oopsie. It's not bad at all. Now, if you want to know as well, what you can do is take a tiny, tiny bit of the brown which you had, and you can give him a little nose. Just a teeny bit. That'd probably be too big. Let's cut that one in half. needs a little nose. Pop that right into the centre of his face, like that. That's cute. There, that looks adorable. Let's press that down. Yeah, that's sweet. Right, next we are going to give him a lovely green bow tie. So we've got a little bit of green, and you don't need very much. 2 little bits like that. So just get rid of that piece of white there. Bits of colour on that. Right, okay, so I'm just going to get that back into a ball shape. Okay, and then, oh, there we go. I'm going to get it on the bed. I'll get in trouble, won't I? Cut that one in half. So we've got roughly equal on either side. There we go. Right, and then we're going to make 2 more little teardrops. And that's going to be for his bow tie, and it's going to go, one's going to go there, like that. Let's just push that down. You can push that down in a moment with your tool. And then I'm going to make another teardrop just there on this side. There we go. That's it. Is it on? No, missed it. Just get it on in. There we go. That's better. Right there. No, don't want to go on. There we go. Right, this one is going to come down here like that, and that one's going to come along and go across like that. And then we're going to use our tool to put an indentation in it. There. Okay, and you need another tiny piece of green. In the centre. So that's better. Just a tiny one to be the middle of his bow tie for the centrepiece. There we go. And put that in the centre, and that becomes the centre of your bow tie, like that. And then we're going to have some little red buttons, and we just want a couple of little red buttons running down the front. So there's one right there. Okay, and this would be great for the dolls. So I'm going to put 1 and 2 little marks in it that look like buttons. There we go. And do another one just the same. I think his bow tie is a little bit lopsided, so I might have to work on that in a second. Put the other one just there. I'll just put that one in the centre, push that one on. There we go, and there's your 2 little buttons. Let me just sort out this bow tie a moment. Needs to be a bit bigger. This side, I think. There you go. That's better. And you just give it a little bit of a thing like that there. Okay, so that's pretty much him done. So there is our little gingerbread man, all ready to go on the table for the dolls. So I think that'd be really pretty. You can put a half of a paper clip in the top, and you can hang it from your doll's Christmas tree if you like, or you can use it to make it into a necklace. You can make much smaller ones if you want to, or whatever you like. So I will just go around and just clean him up a little bit before he gets to go into the oven. That's better. There was a little bit there which was annoying me. There we go. So there he is, our little gingerbread man. Hope you enjoyed this video. Goodbye.